Guten Morgen, Mons. All hail the gods of fire and water. We're getting rained on. I've got a little umbrella. Okay, on the other side of the fire is a piece of plywood with a rendition of the blueprint. The blueprint of the planned campus. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a closer look. Okay, well, don't want to burn myself. I'll have to send you a still photograph of this thing. But you see, the layout is on a six-pointed star. The central structure is a three-story tower with a diameter of 78 feet. Coming off of this tower are these sections of the vaulted halls, the building of which we'll be learning through Alosha. So vaulted halls that are 13 feet wide and lead to the dome structures, secondary buildings, which are 26 feet in diameter. The building of the domes is, of course, something that Alosha teaches. Each of these dome-like structures has then three sort of minor structures. They're like, you know, walk-in closets, eat-in kitchen kind of thing. Those little, the smaller domes will be 8 feet in diameter. So there are 6 of those, as I have said. Coming to these side structures here. Now these are the so-called earth ships that Alosha teaches. A picture of which is featured in the beginning of that video that we talked about. I can't really point with my these wings right here. Those are kind of like sub-towers that go up along the central tower, and then you have the stairwells and the bathrooms. And maybe the elevators. Lifts in British English. So, and then I'd love to build have a fence or a wall around the daggone campus, and possibly a moat. Now, I've spoken to a principal of a charter school in Virginia, so there are 8 charter schools in Virginia, as I have written, and information on which, through the Virginia Department of Education, I have sent an article. So I've spoken to one of the principals. He was applauding my idea. He said that I may have trouble with well, with all of the statutes and all of the bureaucratic bullshit of getting a charter school going. So I think that I'll probably want to apply to 3 different states simultaneously. And anyway, this entire concept, from the buildings to the type of school, is something that will be, I hope, replicable, so we don't have to restrict ourselves to doing it only one time. We can build this modus and get it going, and we do it again in another state. In the corners here, I was considering, windmills. You can strive towards having the whole place off the grid and self-sustainable. So, yeah, I think you've gotten more or less the lowdown. You've seen the contract. I've given you information on the organizational type, the type of incorporation, the 50c3, which of course is allowed to accept donations from any private people or corporate sponsors. And that would be part of your tasks if you were to join me under the terms of the contract that I have sent you. And the very last line was something about, you know, financial, that a bonus plan can be negotiated based upon performance. That is basically, when we do the actions going out and, you know, soliciting donations, you can get a percentage of, you know, what you bring in, and also a little percentage of some of what the people who you are training with, people who you are training and basically directing and managing in the team. So the offer was, again, that I pay for you to go to join me to Russia. All right, so that's the flights. The flight from London to the United States, and then we fly together to Russia, we do the course, and then you get flown back to England at the end. So, and then of course the course is paid for. So, and you know, your end of the bargain would be then basically to work for me, doing all these things that, doing everything that needs to be done in building up this foundation, in striving towards establishing charter school, as I have written, based upon more or less, or having as an inspiration, the type of schooling that is provided by the Tekos school on the Black Sea in Russia, about which 3 documentary videos I have sent you. So I think that, you know, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please take note. Let's Skype chat within the next couple of days. But I think you are approaching a point where you have all the information that you need to make a decision, ja or ja, as to whether you will accept my offer and earn for yourself a way to take Alosha's course, which I think will be suitable to you and the aspirations that you have, the project that you have talked about for, I guess it's an intentional community in Spain. And you've turned me on to this Alosha guy, so I hope that I can do a favor in turn by helping you to afford a visit to the course. Yeah, I mean, what else needs to be said for now? I'll end this video, send this off, and talk to you then. Oh, I wanted to show you one more thing. Here, let's talk a little bit more about the campus. I think we have a slight let-up of the rain. I mustn't get this camera rained on. Okay, here we go. So, as I've said, this blueprint is a basis for a model. Hey, this is not too bad for a totally amateur architect who's never done anything before, but I think that I've used the correct principles of sacred geometry, and something feels right about the dimensions. So, well, the best thing I have to use right now to represent the domes are these oranges here. Okay, so as I have said, the diameter of the dome structures, the 6 dome structures, is 26 feet, which will mean that they are 13 feet high. And then here the tower will then be well, a little bit over 3 times the height of each of the domes. Okay, we're getting rained on. This is not good. And then the earth ships there. You know, these more oval, sort of balloon-shaped structures. The best thing I have right now is this little balloon to represent, although the balloon there is about 2 times too high. I'm looking into creating plaster, you know, molds for plaster. molds for plaster, so that I can create a proper model, which may or may not be necessary because we're going to have some professional illustrations of what the campus is going to look like. Okay, again, leading from the central tower structure of the campus are these vaulted halls, which again we will be learning to create in Alocia's course, August to September. And then these wings here are sort of build up along sub-tower-like structures that build up along the main tower and are, contain the bathrooms and the stairwells and the elevator. So, there our Earthship is flying away, huh? 99 Luftballon hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballon, ihren Weg zum Horizont.